Hello YouTube, this is Scarecrow Kaiser. This is going to be my last segment of my World Championship match analysis. So, Game 3, where I'm giving constructive criticism on both players, what I thought were good and bad plays. Alright, so I'm really only going to comment when I think it's worth mentioning. Most of this is pretty straightforward. Right here, I think it might be a third game in a row, or at least the second, where he's rode Vivian and let Brandon Vanguard no pass. Not saying that he necessarily had a choice in the matter, but that keeps messing him up. They've both created each other so far. This is where Henry draws. This is where Henry sacks the hell out of the game. He rides Garmore, he calls Lion, which is the best choice in the matter, I believe. A lot of the other decent choices are better left in the deck since he hasn't used Spring Breeze yet. Keeping them in will make Spring Breeze more viable. He calls the Lion, gives an 8k booster, and then he ends up calling a Garmore from his hand to the rear guard. I don't know if I like that play. He has 2 damage face up now, but by next turn he could take 1 and then use Spring Breeze this turn and ride Garmore next turn and use its effect. It's not that bad calling it and using it for a rear guard to get another attack in, but especially since you're going to Spring Breeze this turn, I'd rather keep the Garmore in hand, but whatever. Unfortunately, Brandon didn't ride the grade 2 Vortimir, so he can't 15 guard 2 to pass, so Spring Breeze hits, goes off, he heals, and then he gets Lopier, and then he uses Lopier, and on the third card from Lopier he gets Pelennor. So yeah, pretty dang lucky. But it does what the deck's designed to do, so. And there it is on the third card. I believe he also hits a draw trigger. Yep. Brandon, 10 guards, 2 to pass. There's the draw, gives it to the Lion. Then he has the Lion attack for 26. Puts Brandon at 4 so that he can now limit break. If he calls a heal trigger and a Gareth to make a 13k column that can attack the Lion. So the Lion would have to 10 guard in order to survive that attack. And he plans on limit breaking with it. I believe though that when Brandon does attack with Duke, he ends up healing so that he can't limit break, so it makes that heal trigger a little bit awkward, but it's still a good play. Yep, this is where he does 13 at the Lion. Henry lets it die. Instead of 10 guarding it, 14. Vortimir, Henry 15 guard. Since he has so much advantage from his last turn, he might as well make sure he can't get double critted. Smith heals, gives it to the rear guard. This is where Henry does a pretty bad play. He calls a Flame of Victory from his hand to boost Pelennor. I don't know why. A 4K booster is completely irrelevant. It's the same amount of guard. All you did, Henry, was take a 10 shield out of your hand. If you wanted to make a viable boost, you might as well have played Silent Punisher instead of that. He attacks for 14, Brandon 10 guards. So it's the same amount of guard. Henry heals, and second check, he heals. So that's 3 heals so far. And trust me, by the end of the game, there will be a 4th heal. Now Brandon's going to try to limit break again. He does 13 to Pelennor. I probably will have attacked the Bowman since it could intercept anyway, but not big a difference. Duke attacks for 14. Henry 10 guards. Smith hits a draw. Looks like they're pausing since Henry dropped his hand. Gives the power to Duke. Second check. Crit, I believe. Yep. You could call that lucky, but I think it's just making up for Henry sacking with the double heals. Now he limit breaks. Swings for 20. Henry guards for 20, so it's no pass. Hits a crit, gives it to the rear guard. Henry has to block it. He intercepts and 10 guards. He calls a Pelennor. Now, he attacks with his Vanguard first, but it probably would have been better to attack with the rear guard. Let me pause this. He should have probably attacked with Garmor first. For one, he's got that awkward field of Garmor with Lapierre behind it. And he's got that pointless critical there. Probably would have been better to attack with Garmor first, then attack with Pelennor, and he could limit break, which Smith is at 4, so the extra push will be very viable in helping Smith either lose this turn or use up his hand, and it would fix that really awkward Garmor Lapierre column. But yeah, he attacked with his Vanguard first. I don't think I remember him ever using Pelennor this whole match. I'm not even sure he knew Pelennor had a limit break. Brandon 15 guards. No pass. There's that 4th heal trigger by Henry. 4 heals in one game's pretty ridiculous. That Garmor attacks for 15. Brandon 10 guards it, although I probably wouldn't have done that. I probably would have just let it through. Actually, no, it's better to take it, yeah. Or not take it, I mean. Gets back to Brandon. Call it. No, he probably should have taken it that way. Had he healed on his drive check, he could still limit break. I probably would have taken it, I think. He attacks with Duke first since he'd obviously want to sacrifice the grade 3 instead of the interceptor. I believe Henry guards this one. Oh no, he doesn't guard it. Lets it through, I believe. I'm not sure why. No, he blocked it. This is where Brandon... Okay, now I remember what happens. Brandon attacks, he drive checks, nothing. Then he limit breaks. Henry goes up to 4. Then he attacks with Duke again for 10. and Henry no guards, and Brandon crits him, and that's game. Henry is really slow and dramatic about his damage check, and it seems kind of silly since you've healed 4 times, Henry. You ain't healing again. Yeah, here it comes. Really slow and dramatic. Obviously, you can't heal. So that's it. Thank you guys for watching.